Of course. That is, of course, my very good friend Ismail Azeli Ombati. Of course, in his Subaru, he's joined us. Of course, he's coming in live. He's just made his majestic entry into our studios. It is just that our door is very small. Otherwise, this Subaru will be inside here with the noise. But of course, he'll be joining us in a bit. And he's one of the drivers. Ismail Azeli is one of the WRC drivers who will be taking part in this year's edition in Nairobi that will be starting on March 20 to 2030. I also have Rajveer 30. Now, when I was doing motorsport in 2008, just say where you are. Rajveer, where were you in 2008 when I was covering motorsport?
No, 2008 I was still a baby. Yeah.
He was still a baby, but of course he was assisting his dad at the workshop where they always have, they do a lot of rally cars. They, how do you call it? I'm looking for this word. Why am I forgetting? Where they do actually either create, make cars, get all those, just tune a car and make it a rally car completely. So that is, of course, Rajveer, who's been there. That's why he's saying a baby when he was actually he was actually driving cars. I also now, ametoka kwa gari, anaitwa Ismail mwenyewe hapa hivi Azeli. He's over here, he's back, he's here. Of course, that's the car that you saw coming into our studios. Actually, outside our studios, that was the car of my good friend Azeli Ismail. Now, this is the proper cockpit duo. They will tell us which car they will be doing in a bit. But they walked in, of course. They're coming to discuss about their preparations for the World Rally Championship Safari Rally, March 20th to 23rd in Nairobi, Naivasha, Nakuru. And remember, TV47, of course, and Radio 47 will be live to be showing you the action. But now we have these drivers who are here to share what it takes to actually prepare for a World Rally Championship Safari Rally. Now I leave you with these clips as we take a very short break. We'll be back. Is live. This is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Tony Kwalanda. Thank you for staying with us. Remember, every Saturday from 4 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. hapa ndo tunakupikia chakula ya sports moto moto imeiva. Tumeanza na Ambassador, tukienda kwa watu wa Magical Kenya Open, tukienda kwa Frisbee, tumeenda kwa watu wa EPL, sai Man U wanapoteza. Hata wameenda. Wacha ni Google tu sai. What is happening? I know I have two gentlemen in this studio who look like they are serious investors in matters football. Manchester United, of course, are currently playing Everton. It is in the Initwanga dakika za lala salama. It is injury time, death kabisa. I know things have just hung, wachinini zimehang, but we shall get to that. But Manchester United, of course, look like they're losing it. Anyway, Manchester United is not longer a topic that we need to discuss in front of very serious people. So that's why I have two lovely gentlemen here, actually two gentlemen, two rally drivers who definitely are taking Kenya by storm. They are raring to go. The car that you actually saw making It's very historic in this studio, in this station, that a rally car has actually made such an entrance. Bwana Ishmael Azeli, congratulations for making us famous.
Thank you for
Karibu sana. Ishmael, of course, is one of the drivers who will be taking part in the World Rally Championship, Safari Rally. Rajveer Sethi, karibu sana. I know your dad.
Yeah.
Your dad has been my friend for all these years. Of course, he has taught me so many things about rally. It's good to see you.
Yeah. Thank you
Now all big and matured up.
Yeah.
Well done to your dad. Welcome so much to TV47, and welcome to Sports Extravaganza. This is a place, of course, make this your home. We are doing the countdown to the World Rally Championship. You know, of course, it will be on the 20th to the 23rd of March here in Nairobi, zooming off pale City Hall way, pale karibu na KICC. Ipige pale Spectator State Kasarani. Alafu sisi wale watu wa Vasha, tunaenda huko Vasha Chronicles. Whatever happens in Nash, Vaga stays in. Uosha isikia hata kukombea stories za Vasha. Hazitaitoka huko. It's a place to be, of course, on the 20th to the 23rd to watch Ishmael and Rajveer Sethi. Let's just get into it. Azeli, I have seen your name. Inaanza na Ombati.
Yes. That's my dad.
You'll be navigated by Kadivane. Ama umechange?
Umechange.
Eh.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about just introduce. Tell us about which car you'll be using, the WRC, why you're using it, and so far where are you with your preparations?
Thank you so much for having us here.
Karibu sana.
Yeah, Ishmael Azeli, rally driver, filmmaker, all in one roof.
Yes.
We are getting ready for this WRC,
Yes.
and it's in less than a month time now.
Yes.
I'll be navigated by one John Igash.
Oh, John, do I know John?
John, you must know
Igash?
him. Yes.
I
Call him Igash.
I should be knowing him, yes. Yes.
So John Igash, yeah, he's going to be my navigator. Kadivane navigated me last year.
Yes.
So this is my second time to be doing WRC again.
Yes.
And now we're in a bit of a higher class because of the car we are driving.
Yes.
We'll be driving an Evolution 9, which is sort of classified as an R3 or 4, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, so we're just getting ready. Everything is going on swiftly, so we're hoping we'll be ready by then.
Exactly, indeed.
Yeah.
Rajveer, let me bring you into it. WRC is here. Yourself, personally, I mean, you as a very serious stakeholder in motorsport. I mean, of course, looking at you have an entire family that basically motorsport is your name. I mean, if you didn't have a name, Rajveer Sethi, you'd be called motorsport, your entire family. How is it so far, preparations? What are people saying? What are you yourself saying about this particular sport and where we're headed to? Less than a month, as Azeli has said.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's pretty exciting.
Yes.
And to take part in the Safari Rally has always been my dream. And, just watching the other drivers, watching the international drivers, even our local drivers, just compete with them. And it's been one of my goals since I was a kid. And yeah, finally, we're going to make it happen. So this is going to be my first Safari Rally. And yeah, pretty excited for it. The preparations are going on well. I'll be driving a Subaru N12.
Okay.
And yeah, like you said, motorsports is in my family, it's in the blood, and I'm doing this with my dad. He's the man behind it all. Yeah, so he's currently building my car, the N12. And the good thing about him, because he knows the sport, he knows what to do, how to train me, what I need to do. So I've got a really good support from him. And yeah, that just makes me more excited and just ready to push to my limits for the event. And yeah, ready to show people dust.
It will be literally dust. Trust me, I know we have images of the WRC, the previous year's WRC. Actually, we have last year's images of WRC, and they'll be able to come on our screens in a few. However, let me just get Azeli. I know you'll also be doubling up in the ARC,
Yes.
Africa Rally Championship.
Yeah.
And of course, now with these are some of the images we were able to capture last. This is 2025, or rather 2024. Safari Rally. So Rajveer, you're saying you're going for dust. You better have that snorkel because there'll be a lot of dust, there'll be a lot of water here and there, I'm sure. Azeli, tell us about, of course, what do you know about 2024? Let's just start off, because now we have the images of 2024 Safari Rally. What did you pick from there? What excited you back then? What lessons you pick up then, now that you better this particular season?
There was a lot of lessons that we learned last year as a team. And of course, I might be sitting here alone trying to be famous. But there's a whole lot of people behind us as drivers who never got mentioned, never seen in any. I have a manager, the whole team of mechanics. There's, it's lots of people behind the scenes.
Yes.
So last year we had a very good run. We didn't finish, but we ended up, we were leading for the first 2 days on the KNRC level.
Yes.
But we blew up the engine on the last section, actually like about a kilometer towards the end of the section.
Yes.
But we took a lot of lessons from it, and now we are sort of preparing the car even more better to tackle what we really went through last year. But I think it was an amazing run. Having been the first WRC I did, actually the long drive I did, because they were spending hours and hours in the car, and the heat is not like, it's Vasha, so the heat is crazy, and when it rains it pours.
Yes.
So we had some downs and ups, but I think the lessons are gonna remain with us forever.
Yes.
But we're not gonna repeat the same mistakes we did last year. We hope to push more this year, and hopefully end up on the podium.
Describe Kadivane, your last year's
my
season. Describe him now. Describe him to 30. Just describe him as if you're having a meeting with your friends at the local, and Kadivane. So describe him in that particular.
John Kadivane is a very good friend of mine. We started racing exact same time. When I mean exact time, it was like the same weekend. We all in rally cars, and we started pushing the dream. It's been now 2 years since we started, plus maybe. And like John, I don't have a background for motorsport. My dad loves motorsport though, so he used to take me a lot to go do the flag off and stuff like that. But John has a background in motorsport. The dad is Babashiro, the late. So for me to have met John, and I approached him, told him, yo, can you please build me a car, and let's start from scratch. So we went ahead, bought a car, built. So John Kadivane has been such a good support system to me and the entire team, and to some extent where I have to go work and still land, let's say like today and tomorrow I have a race, and I still got into that car and it's still working.
Yes.
So that's how much trust I have for John, and I respect him so much as a brother and also as my team principal and also team head engineer.
Well done, well description. Hey, Kadivane, uko na CV mzuri sana. Well done to that. Of course, Rajveer, yourself, the lessons that yourself, I'm sure you watched, I'm sure you are actually in the mix.
Yeah.
Either support staff or volunteer, or you must have been in the mix of the 2024 Safari Rally. What lessons did you pick from there? What did you see, both from our local drivers, also from the international drivers, like the defending champions, Kinano? What did you hear from? What did you see? What did you learn that, of course, you want to bring to 2025?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like for me, when WRC came back into Kenya, my first goal was to volunteer. So I was actually as an official, just helping out the organizers. And from there, I just learned like what it takes to organize a WRC. Like it's not easy. Obviously, it's quite difficult having like international standards.
Yes.
And then from there, I took it one step down and I became a spectator. And so the good thing about spectator is like you have the free movement, you can go meet the drivers and just interact with them.
Yes.
And so that was pretty cool because like I met a lot of drivers and it was good interactions with them. And yeah, overall it was really good, and it just got me itching to come and drive this year because I'm just missing out on so much I can do.
Yes.
So that's why this year my goal was just to take part in the Safari Rally. So basically last year I didn't take part much, I didn't participate much in motorsports because my idea was just to take it slow, make a budget, and then take it over this year. So at least I know I would perform well.
You did. And describe your navigator. Of course, you haven't introduced. You see, your navigator is very mad at you right now. You've not even mentioned him yet.
Yeah.
I want to give you time to describe your navigator. Describe him when you are he's not around, but you can describe him. Who is he? What does he do? What does he like? Just the way, of course.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think this year I'm going to go with Wayne Fernandez.
Yes.
He was actually the first person to co-drive me. Our first race was the Guru Nanak Rally, and it was my debut into the sports, and I think we did really well. Yeah, I think as a first time, like a first crew, we did really good.
Yes.
And yeah, he's, what can I say? He's just short.
What is his worst habit in the cockpit?
When you
Tell him out so they can correct it before 20th.
No, I can't call him out, but yeah.
Just kidding.
I think he's pretty good. he's had quite a good experience, and we've made a bond because we've done a couple of rallies together, a couple of KNRCs together, so we understand each other's pace and each other's rhythm. So I think for Safari we're going to be a good fit, and yeah, I think together we're going to do something good. Yeah.
We'll be looking forward to that. I'll be there personally, so trust me, though a bit covered up with the dust. Ishmael, who are behind you? Who are these people, organizations or individuals who are behind you, who have been behind you? Tell us from the start who are pushing you to go do this thing. Who are these people? They'll be very happy to hear that indeed you appreciate the efforts, whether it was even kama alikupatia spanner, kama alikupatia carburetor, kama alikupatia hata pump.
Yes, no, it's important. Do you have time? Maybe that's that. As I said, man, it's an absolute pleasure to literally walk into this sport and find people who can support you.
Yes.
And not just support you, be there even when you're failing. Was I'm like none of the rally drivers ever, even all the world, you can check. It's proven. You must have rolled the car, you must have crashed or something. So there's a lot of like mistakes you must have done to get where we are. So these people are, there's so many, man. From my mom, my dad, who sort of supports, but they really love it, supports, but they don't really like. They don't want to let you go do it. You sure you want to do this, Yeah? But they had their prayers are with us all the time. My wife, my kids, we were like 10, Barakabat and Tawi were like 10 and 6.
Yes.
6 years old. So they always with me, eating the dust, serving it fully. When you're training, they're always there. My guys who trained me, Mindo, Eric Bengi, the legend driver, all those people to my manager who's Milan Kantai, to the mechanics, John Kadivani, who's heading the technical team, Joe, to the team I'm in right now is Umoja Racing. We have a very good understanding.
Yes. And
so we sort of also, when you're making things, we plan things together, have a plan before the actual events. Like tomorrow we have an event. So the whole of today we're spending having those plans ongoing and stuff like that. Yes. There's an amazing support system. This interview will not be over if I don't mention Betika. Because I don't think if I was alone, this could be possible. I think these guys, as an organization, they've come through for me big time. And I really appreciate every single person who sits in that boardroom to say, let's give him a try. It's been 2 years. I think I've only run under Betika so far. And it's been an amazing, amazing season for me. So the list is endless. To my church, the support does not go unseen. It's an amazing, beautiful journey, and the support system is something that you cannot do without in this motorsport field.
Very true indeed.
Yeah.
And of course, I know you are one of the bosses of Betika people. One of them plays golf, so we play golf together. So I will pass on your message.
Please do. Check the hand.
Kuna Ishmael amesema asante sana.
Yes.
I know he's a lover of the sport itself, and of course motorsport indeed, because I've seen a lot of events that Betika has really been supporting, rallycross, you name them. Now here, WRC, they've been there last season, they were there.
Yeah, so. They also support me in rallycross, so it's every other rallycross I'm part of the team, I'm the head of the team.
Yes.
Maya, Steve, everyone in that boardroom. I really appreciate those guys. They're doing an amazing job around the community, and we appreciate the support.
We'll come back later to you to tell us about why Umoja Racing. Why Umoja?
Yes.
Watu wa Umo. Why Umoja Racing? And also you tell us about this event. But let's hear Rajveer. Rajveer, who are these? Of course I know you. I can guess what you're going to say, but I'll let you say it. But who have been really supportive of you? Who, individuals or companies or whatever, who are these people who have been behind you, supporting you, pushing you, carrying you? Name them, it's very important. And of course, tell us the brand name that you'll be using for the Safari Rally as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think in motorsports, support has to be key.
True.
And for me, luckily, I think my main support was my dad and my family, my mother, my dad. I think as a kid, he just saw like the passion in me because I'd always want to go watch his events, and like that's how the passion grew. You know, like with motorsports, when you watch it and you watch other people do it, and just like how the community comes together, people racing together, that's just amazing. And like for me, just seeing him in the workshop full time, and I'll be like, Dad, I also want to race, and he said, let's do it. So yeah, since I was 12 when I did my first event in Hatha River in my autocross, when I was like in 2014, he's always been there for me, building my car, like supporting me financially, like even the smallest things he's always been there. But like recently, he's done so much for me, and I think it's time for me to take over from him. So yeah, definitely I'm like, there's people who are helping me now, like Eric Bengi, he's there for Team 7-70, and also Thai Racing. So Thai Racing came on board, and the funny thing is Thai Racing, they also got inspired from my dad. And like in Punjabi, they call him Mama Ji, like an uncle. Yeah. And they used to watch him race, and they're like, Mama Ji, I want a car, Mama Ji, I want this. And they know who I'm talking about, but yeah. So I think even from them, they were like, listen, we've known Raji since he was a kid, and we've started our team. I think it's time we come together and grow as one. So that's Thai Racing now. So I'll be racing under Thai Racing in the WRC, and it's just like one family group, and it's just my dad like inspired us to race. So yeah.
And indeed, his dad is one of those who also trained me to understand motorsport. Trust me, I was green from Western Kenya. The only sport I knew was rugby and football. Motorsport, I just came to learn it in Nairobi. And of course, I know the dad used to actually, when I used to do interviews back then, when I was in a different station, he used to call me to his garage, tell me so many things, rip up the car, tell me this is this and this. So indeed, I know, definitely you have been raised by a very established hand in motorsport. So also, please send my thank you. I know he's watching, or he'll watch it, but really thank you to your dad really for also being part of this Tony Kualanda today. I know he saw me when I was very thin, thinner than you by the way.
Oh, no way.
I'm not calling you thin though. If you're joining us, this is of course Sports Extravaganza. I am joined with Ishmael Azeli and as well as Rajveer Sethi, who will be participating in the WRC Safari Rally. We are discussing about the preparations, where they are, the car they're using, what is up also for you. Even if you cannot be part of it, remember you can also just come and spectate and be, because motorsport is the sport currently that most people love. I know just before we have time. Azeli, you talked about Umoja. Tell us about why Umoja. Already you've been told, Rajveer has told us why the name. Yourself, why Umoja? And what is the event tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Umoja is a group of young, dedicated, motorsport lovers who came together and decided, okay, let's make a group where we'll sort of try and make racing a bit cheaper. It's a very expensive sport, like super expensive. So, so we decided to come together to make this, racing cheaper.
Yes.
To people of our peer groups, people on our age level, people who can understand each other and talk the same language.
Yes.
So one guy, Clement and Kadivane, are the founders, and we have been supporting training and equipping the young generation that wants to join the motorsport. And so far we've had even lady drivers join into our teams. And we're just growing day by day, and that's the whole goal basically. Just come together, as the name suggests, Umoja, and train using our cars. We train them, and then bits by bits we encourage them. Okay, you can buy a car. You can start by building a roll cage. Just have a standard engine, run one race. You can upgrade when you finish. You feel like the car needs more power. So bits by bits, and all these cars we're using are not like new cars. So it's in terms of road cars, you can actually afford them. So that's the approach for motor racing, basically.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And where is your event? You mentioned, or is
tomorrow? Yeah.
Tomorrow. What is it about? Are
tomorrow
you
the 23rd?
23rd of March.
Yeah,
No, February.
February. We are having something called autocross.
Yes.
Or autocross plus. Autocross or autocross plus.
Yes.
Run and a very able, big, amazing club called 254 Motorsport.
Okay.
that was recently formed, which we are proud of, and we really appreciate the directors and the guys who came up to support that. Yeah, we have a race tomorrow, and you invite everyone to come watch at Twisty Corner.
Corners, yeah.
Where is Twisty Corner? It's a very famous place. I might change. You know, these old fellas.
No, just past.
Gen Z changed names, Rajveer.
No, it was there for 1 year, and then I think they stopped using it, and recently it's come back.
Oh, yeah, they should say.
So,
This is the second race actually there.
yeah, second race.
Yeah, there was one that you did. It was the other weekend or the other.
Yeah.
There was an
Yes.
event that happened at Twisty Corner
It's the
2
same
weeks
one.
ago. When
Yes, yeah,
that one.
that's
so
the
the
one.
same kind of event.
Yes.
But now this is gonna be 1 day. Last 2 weeks ago it was 2 days, because we had a lot of entries.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna happen in Twisty Corners. It's when you get to Tattoo City.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always find links somewhere.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
You know, and
You'll
you
see dust
get your way there.
Yeah.
Exactly. You see
Some
dust, and you
dust.
can follow that
And
dust.
you'll sell some nyama choma somewhere.
Exactly.
Trust me, that will be
Yes.
Twisty Corner.
Yes.
Fantastic. Rajveer, I'm sure you have your peers, the likes of Kina, Tinashe, Gatimu, because of course I grew up when the mom was actually in the sport, that is Karo Gatimu. Now you yourself, Tinashe, are taking over. How does that make you feel? Or how has that journey been? I know you already have an established family sort of that have been in the sport. What do you think about the others? Do you think they have just the way Umoja are coming up to train? What are you thinking yourself? So that you can have friends. You don't want old friends like us in your team.
No, definitely. I think it's really important to encourage the new generation to come up in this sport.
Yeah.
I think because that's the future of motorsports. And like in Umoja Racing, they're making it more accessible for people to come and race.
Yeah.
So yeah, to be honest, even for me, I encourage everyone to take part in the sports because it's something totally different. I mean, it's like a totally different experience for everyone. And yeah, just having new generations to race with and to have this championship fight, that's what makes the sport. You can't just be driving by yourself. I mean, that's pretty boring. So
Yeah.
having people come in and race, even the new generation, people your age mates, I think that's pretty amazing because it's something you can talk about even in the future. 20 years down the line, you'll be like, oh, I was racing against this person. This year was my best season. And then something happened in this. So yeah, even for me, my best year in autocross was in 2021 when I was doing the two-wheel drive championship. And that was just an experience and a half because we're fighting for the championship. And one day he's leading by 1 point, one day I'm leading, and it's who is going to get this? Oh, he got the FTD, next race I'm getting the FTD. So it's just that battle, and I think even if you document those battles and everything, I think people will come and watch the sport. So yeah, I would highly encourage people to come. Even I've been telling everyone, the first step is just to come and watch. Just come and see what people are doing, and obviously all the drivers are friendly. Even if you come to me, if you come to my service park, I'll be this is my car, this is how I started, this is what you need to get going. We're pretty friendly, and one of the biggest mistakes is when you see a rally driver is oh, let me not go close to him. It's no man, come talk to us because we're there for the sport. Even the sport that's happening, the autocross this weekend, I mean all the drivers have come together. We've all come together just to race. The main thing is all of us want one thing, and it's just to race. The adrenaline gets you there. And Ishmael has talked about the event. I think the new thing about it is the autocross and then the autocross plus.
Yep.
So that's, I think for new drivers, if you want to come, if you're going into a rally, the first time you go, you get a time card, you get your pace notes, but you don't know what to do. You're just confused unless you have an experience or someone teaches you. But with the autocross plus is when you go there, it's a simple format of a rally. Yeah. People are this is how you start, this is where you stop, this is how you make notes, and people are there just to help you. If you need help with navigation, you just go to speak to someone, and yeah, they're just there to help. So that's the good thing about the sport. If you want help, we're there. Yeah,
that's very true indeed. Later on, I will request my good friend Azeli to tell us some of the challenges that he has actually undergone. Also, as with Rajveer, will tell us some of the challenges yourself that you've gone through, how you've overcome them. And just in case if someone wants to learn, just as you mentioned, they've just actually answered that question you can always participate in these events. Just go there as a spectator. Myself also, I came from Kakamega, I spectated, and then I love the sport. So definitely that bag will catch up with you. And also you might be having a junk car in your yard, and it's just rotting there. These experts can actually come and look at your car and they're like, this can work somewhere. So definitely just have this kind of interactions. You just never know. So we're taking a very, very, very short break. They'll be back, of course, to share some of their challenges, some of the opportunities, things that have made them stay in the sport. Because at the end of the day, Rajvir's father wants something on the table. Akirudi nyumbani asirudi mkono mtupu. Azeli's family also as well. Akitoka rally, daddy, wapi mkate. So of course, we'll be able to share all these things after this very short break. Don't go away. This is Sports Extravaganza every Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. This is the place to be for all the sports cuisine in the world. My name is Tony Kolanda, Sports Extravaganza here. I'm not alone. I'm with the stars to watch during the WRC or the World Rally Championship Safari Rally 2025 on 20th to 23rd of March. Nairobi, watakuwa pale KICC. Unajua saa hii unawapatia opportunity mutangamane nao, mukae na wao because Saila amevaa overall na amevaa hizo mahands zake na amedungama kila kitu au utamgosea. So saa hii ndio time unaweza mgotea. I have of course the stars, Kenyan stars, one Ishmael Azeli who will be of course with the Umoja team as well as Rajvir Thethi. Say that team again. Thai
Racing.
Thai, Thai.
TAI, yeah.
Forgive my tongue, where I come from. Thai Racing, of course, Rajvir Thethi, the entire team, of course. They are some of our local stars, amongst other local drivers who will be participating in the 2025 WRC Safari Rally starting next month, 20th to 23rd. TV 47, Radio 47 will be on ground. Tutakuwa na KCB. Tutakuwa na vurumisha. So let me just get into it. Azeli, I know sponsors love motorsport. We've had our own problems as motorsport. But what are some of the challenges, opportunities, of course, that motorsport has offered you as a driver?
There's a lot of challenges, to be honest. The better part of last year, we almost, I might be wrong, but almost like 90% of the drivers not participate in any of the events because there's been bit of tussle here and there in terms of motorsport, political,
yes,
wise, but you know, amongst other things, you know, lack of funding to actually go into the sport. Sometimes you have the funding, but the car is never ready. We always say, like, you know, the car it's never ready until you at the start line, and then when you take off and then you come back, you're like, okay, it's working. Yes, otherwise. We are always up and down trying to sort the last minute things, but you know, challenges are always there here and there. But so far so good. You know, things are coming up well this year. We've started very on a high note. We've got 2 events down in one happening tomorrow. So I mean, I think for me it's more of like, you know, just car preparations, lack of, you know, sponsorship.
Yeah.
I'm just one of the few lucky people who are actually very able sponsored, yes, fully sponsored. Yeah, among others. Yeah.
So angalau unga unapeleka nyumbani.
Angalau unga napeleka nyumbani na nikirudi home niko na vumbi na unga.
Na maziwa ya watoto.
Na maziwa.
Well done, of course, Ishmael. That's good. Thethi, yourself, I know you're still building your life. You know, some of us have been there. We've paid tax for so many years. We've returned taxes for so many years. But of course, I know you've been there. You've done, of course. That's on a light note. Some of the challenges yourself, your team that have gone through, how have you overcome them? What are the opportunities that you look forward to as well?
Yeah, I think personally for me, my biggest challenge is like financially, like just getting, because motorsports is really expensive.
It is.
And like, yeah, I remember earlier the guy who came to interview for Frisbee, he said it's the cheapest sport, and like, okay, I should move there.
I should carry my rim and my
yeah, just throw it. But yeah, motorsports is really like quite expensive. I think that's one of the most challenge people have just to even enter the sports, because the tires, rims, roll cage, helmet, then you get the overalls. So it's a pretty expensive sport, but I think once you get into it, it gets much cheaper. But yeah, that's one of the challenges. And I think the other challenge is building the car.
Building, yes.
Like that's one of the toughest thing in motorsports, building the car. If you don't know how to build a car, if you don't have someone who could build the car, I think you'll just be having a difficult time. Yeah, also like the hours that go into building the car, it's pretty crazy. Because people watch you race, like they'll be like, oh, that's pretty fun, but you don't know the amount of hours that went into building the car. Like I remember one rallycross, and so the good thing about rallycross is it happens in different days, like Saturdays is qualifying, and then Sunday is like the final heats. But in Saturday, the car took such a beating, and we're just working on the car midnight. Like the night, like we just wake up for like, we sleep for like 1 hour, wake up, and then go back to race. So yeah, that's the behind the scenes that people don't actually see. And I think one of the biggest challenges in motorsports.
Yeah, maybe I'll just add on that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please.
That building the car,
Yes.
sorry, even the spare parts, getting them are very, because as I said earlier, some of the cars we're running are a bit older than the number of years that they're supposed to be around. Yes. So they, like my Evo 9 right now, I've been struggling getting an engine on loan, and when you get the engine, it's like I'm on the leg. So and I think the cheapest thing in motorsport is just lunch break. When you take a lunch break and go back to the car. Otherwise,
if you get a chance. If you're doing safari,
exactly.
you won't even get a chance to have lunch.
Yeah, you serve your water backpack. You just have that straw. That's the cheapest thing you can have in motorsport.
Wow. Yeah. Yep. It is an expensive sport. But just besides Rajveer, that is a dad who ushered me into the sport and also trained me in the sport. I was also lucky to be in the hands of our legendary Azza Anwar. Basically, he's the one who actually took me through all this. Like what they're saying, where they don't eat or they don't have time to eat or they don't sleep. Personally, when I was actually starting out there as a journalist, I used to attend all rallies that Azza Anwar was in. So you can imagine how early you actually could get to the route. You actually go like 2 or 3 one day before, and you sleep on the route there with the drivers at the service park inside there. So basically, I know what they're talking about. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, it's expensive, but it's fun. So come into the sport so that people can see you, so they can support you. That's why I'm happy, Rajveer, you're here. And of course, that's where you are, as well as Azeli. I feel very proud and happy that, of course, I can see young entrants into the sport, especially on this global stage.
Thank you.
So really, thank you really indeed. But you've told people that you actually train. There is training in motorsport. The way you prepare for football, you attend gym, there's nutrition, there is all these things. Like there is an entire, Teth is just being nice. At home, there are people at home who cook 24/7 to ensure they are in good shape. Training when they go to Athi River. Just tell us something, just a bit for 1 minute each, 1.5 minutes about training.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of training you do.
Yes, there's a lot of training.
That's your gym. That's like
people see us in the cars and they feel like it's just driving.
Yes.
Let me just give you a very simple schedule of my week. I will Monday to Sunday. Monday, like all day, 5 days of the week, I drop the kids to school, hit the gym for 2 hours every morning without a miss. And I do a training called mobility. It's not like weightlifting where you have to, but it's more of like joints and everything. And then 1 day in a week I do swimming. And then I do walks at Karura with my wife, at least also a day a week. But constantly gym is every day in the morning. And then during the weekends, because sometimes in between the week I have shoots because I'm a filmmaker by profession. So during the weekends, that's when I get to engage myself in motorsport as a hobby. and that's now when we get to link up with Kina Raj and everyone else to get the cars out in the garage, drive to a track, let's say like at the river or somewhere. Kasarani is a very famous spot for us because it's closer to everyone and it's resource friendly. And we train there for almost half a day, either Saturday or Sunday evening. We just schedule ourselves. And then, that's where you know your mistakes. You do all the mistakes you want. You can even draw the car now, fix it. Yes. But there's a lot of training that goes behind it. Among other things like sitting with professional guys who have been there before us in the sport, like Ayuk Bengi, Anko Raj, and so on and so forth. Yeah,
indeed. Raj yourself as well. I mean, there's a lot of training. You go a lot. People just think you just show up in a car and you...
No, the funny thing is, personally, majority of my training was when I was a kid. So right now, I barely go for training. When I want to go race, I was just on the race day. And For me, it works because I've been racing like for so many years. Like I know it's like my bread and butter.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely like mobility, going to the gym, just getting fit is quite important because rallying, like when you sit in the car in such heat and because you got to concentrate and you just get like an adrenaline pump, you need to have good fitness. Yeah, definitely. That's one aspect of it. And like the other aspect of like training, like learning the car. For example, for me, I would only test the car when, let's say I have a new engine or like a new gearbox or like a part I want to test.
Yes.
Otherwise,
you will be ready.
Otherwise,
I'm
I'm just ready. I'm like, let's go. Like tomorrow, like I got a new beast, the Subaru N12.
Yes.
I've only driven the car once on a dirt road, once, and tomorrow is the real test.
Hi. I'll be watching you. I know social media has a way of just giving us all the feedback. So, of course, all the best there, Raj, of course, in your testing. And, of course, also all the best as you prepare for WRC.
Thank you.
Ishmael, all the best. Lovely story. Yeah. And, of course, well done to your entire teams that are actually working behind the scenes. I know there's a lot that goes into you being here and you being on the track as well. Yeah. So keep on doing what you do. We shall be there to support you as a station.
Thank you
so thank you so much for making time, Ishmael. Thank you for Rajveer, of course, and the entire team. This is Sports Extravaganza. Every Saturday, remember, 4 to 7 p.m. This is the place to be. My name is Tony Kwalanda.